Well, good morning. I am Marge Pearson, and I am here to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma. To those of you who are here in person, and those of you that are online.
Every wave to online people.
Woo! So, our musicians today include on the piano. And our special guest today is the infamous Anjali Silva. Our audio visual team, as we can see, is Mr. Erik Perrohe down here, and Ronald up above. And our practitioners today are Steve Potts on platform and Bev Holland holding high watch or consciousness in the back. Today's message will be given by our senior minister, Reverend Drew Ebersole. We are an inclusive, welcoming, and heart-centered community. If you're new today and are comfortable raising your hand, please do so that we can welcome you. Woohoo! Yay, thank you. So we have some announcements. First one is our new YES program for kids continues today. YES stands for Youth Exploring Spirit. We now have a place where children ages 4 to 12 can feel safe while learning and growing spiritually. Come downstairs and meet Kaylin Hamilton, our experienced child's licensed spiritual director. And I'm just going to add a plug for her that my granddaughter, who's 6, has been so excited. She's been here since the first meeting, and every week, Mimi, are we going? Are we going? And today, why are you late? Why are you late? We've got to get there. So hopefully you all will consider bringing whomever in your family to experience this wonderful place. We are continuing our collection for 2 neighborhood organizations. For Christmas House, we are collecting new, unwrapped toys through today, and they're here under the tree. And for the Hilltop Food Bank, we are collecting packaged, shelf-stable food now and into the new year. And you can check your program for more details of these 2 worthy causes. One other announcement that I have here is Wine and Tapas will be January 20th. I have since lost my little ad for it that I should have, but thank you. Thank you, Drew. So, it's chilly out there. Come on inside and warm up with wine, chili, and new thought. And so, as I said, Wine and Tapas, January 20th at 6:30 here at the Center for Spiritual Living. So, let's take a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on our planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. We help to empower you to bring your dreams to life. We do this together through practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual practices, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway to peace of mind. And now it's time for the minister's moment with Reverend Drew. I'll let you have that.
Okay, excellent. Good morning. And I think that Marge meant famous as in very famous. We're not infamous. Infamous. That was a little bit of a misspoke. But Anjali is so wonderful and famous, and she has performed internationally for a long time. So she performed internationally for a long time. So we're very blessed to have world-class artists like her with us. So let's give her a round of applause again. When I heard that, I saw Anjali's face kind of go, infamous. But now we know it's very famous, very famous. That's good. Thank you, Marge. It's okay. I misspeak words all the time. Somebody helps me, so that's good. So there were tons of gratitudes, tons of gratitude. I'm going to save them because we have another message in a moment coming up from our treasurer, Ty, about our incredibly successful pledge campaign. It's been marvelous, like super marvelous. And so without further ado, I'll invite him up, and he'll get to share a little bit about it.
Greetings. I have a small presentation.
Thank you very much, Ty. We appreciate it.
So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ty Minkler, treasurer, having the honor of serving as your treasurer. And I'm here to talk about the pledge drive, of course. So, as some of you may know, I'm also an adjunct professor of education. And I teach students about financial management, of course. One of my students did some research recently on historically black universities and discovered that these universities are victims of racism in the bond market. Universities raise money through bonds all the time, all over the country for projects, for buildings, that kind of thing. And it's as dry and boring as number-based as you might imagine. And I know when he told us about this, his voice broke a little bit, and our hearts broke a little bit. Something as so basic as a bond market has systemic racism in it. And that's why your pledges matter. We can't solve the bond problem in the U.S. market for universities from here maybe, but we can be a beacon of hope and acceptance and standing up for social justice here as a beacon to our community. Your pledges make that possible. If all we're doing is just barely covering our needs, our budget, and in fact requiring fundraising to make our budget numbers, we don't have anything extra to reach out into the community. But your pledges that we have received today make it possible to reach out into the community, to make a stand, to make a statement. So please know how much I appreciate all of you who have pledged, whether it is treasure or time. And isn't time the most precious gift of all? Your presence here matters. If we had 10 people who gave $15,000 each, budget's done, we're all covered. But it's only 10 people. That wouldn't be right for me. It's about community. It's about building community. And it's not about building a mega church. We don't need to grow for growth's sake. But your presence matters. The energy here, the love here is palpable. And so even if you're just committing and pledging to be here, maybe to volunteer, that matters. That's huge to us, to each of us. It matters to me. Let me add, this is a report from the Surgeon General, the U.S. Surgeon General, about the epidemic of loneliness in this country. This is one of his signature elements in his tenure right now. It's huge. Look at the size of this. I mean, this is all about loneliness and the problems. But we can solve that here by being a beacon of acceptance and love in our community. I was lonely 2 years ago. I found home here. And your pledges make it possible for us to thrive. And if we thrive, we can help the community thrive. And we can address this problem right here. Please know that regardless of the size of your commitment, all commitments are appreciated and honored. There's no judgment. Whether it's $1 a week or $500 a week, it doesn't matter. What you're giving from your heart is what matters. Your commitment is what matters. Please know that if you're not pledging, that's okay too. We accept everybody. We have friends, we have people who are not ready to pledge yet, who might be checking us out still. That's okay. You can pledge any time of the year. And I know that there are some who are concerned about pledging, who are concerned about becoming members because of issues in the family. And we understand that. That's okay. We're here for you regardless. And just to be clear, I don't track pledging. Leslie knows about the numbers because she does the budget and making sure everything arrives appropriately. But nobody knows about the numbers other than Leslie, and I can see them. And I do see who's pledging and not, because I want to make a phone call if you're not so that I can make sure everything's okay. But we don't track pledges, just so you know. Nobody else knows what the pledges are. Okay, so what's the laughing about? You're pre-laughing. So, for those of you who, was it wrong? That's okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, for those of you who are pledging and on the loaf list, you might be interested to know, I have 24 loaves that I'm baking for y'all. I have to add, I'm baking a loaf for each of the practitioners. And I don't know if you all know, but they're volunteers. And they pledge. They're committed here so amazingly. It's just a way of me showing my appreciation to them. So let's hear it for our practitioners. So, and just a note, I'll be doing 2 loaves a Sunday. I believe I can do that. So it might be, I think actually, 30 weeks before I'm all done, but we'll get there. So the fact is, this has been the best pledge drive in our history. Thanks to all of you. And it's not necessarily done. There's still some time today. And they're always welcome, but we will use the numbers we get today to plan our budget. This will be the close of the drive today. But there's more. In case any of you are still on the fence, or if you're watching and you're on the fence, the board is sponsoring a Thank You Pledgers Pancake Bonanza Breakfast. We'll gather January 14th at 9 a.m. Roger and I are going to be making pancakes. He'll do the gluten-free version. I'm going to do the sourdough, hemp seed, blueberry version that is amazing. So you will love it. They are good pancakes. They're healthy pancakes. So please keep that in mind if you're on the fence still. Okay, so this is the official close of the 2024 pledge drive. You are all fierce warriors for compassion, love, and acceptance. And you make it possible for us to say to our Tacoma community, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Come find peace with us, meditation with us, gratitude practice, affirmation practice, surrounded by love. So thank you. One more thing. I have the first loaf. To give unto our chief loaf, the loafer who leads us, the loafer who helps us rise together, our favorite loafer.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Ty. That was just wonderful, Ty. I love it. Ty is also the Chief Financial Officer for Home Office as well, so he is really invested in this whole movement internationally. And we have dreams of sharing a lot of how we're growing with that international movement to help other centers spark up, because something special is going on here. And we don't have to just be here, it can be everywhere. It can be a world that unites in thriving in harmony, in a world that is accepting and loving at that point. And his point about the epidemic of loneliness, it's really big. I mean, being that lonely, according to the Surgeon General's report, is equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes per day. And so it's very hard in your house. So come and be with us. Come and know that you're with us online. If you can, come here and know that this community, there's ways to get involved. There's incredible people here. Each of you bring what's magical about you here, unfettered and unencumbered by any fear, and you express it freely, and that's a world that lives in creative harmony right there. And that's what you're doing. That's what Ty did this morning. By taking a risk and coming up here and sharing from his heart and putting on that hat. That's who we are. That's who you are free to be. Whatever is good for you, bring it. Right? It's great. It's wonderful. And rise to the occasion. I love it. So we did have a lot of gratitudes. There's too many to do today. I'll do them next week. We have a full session. But I've been getting more reports about people who wrote letters of gratitude last week and handed them out, cheer for unions and connections with people and all kinds of amazing things. So act on what you know, and it really will become possible. And now we have Anjali, I think, for some wonderful, heartfelt music. The famous. Oh, is that for the choir? Well, all right, so while you're getting set, Anjali, come on up and get yourself set. This will take far less time than Ty took. Okay. All right, come on up, John. Sorry, Anjali. Okay. It was a spontaneous announcement. Come on up, John. All right. This is John, our amazing musician. Wonderful guy. Don't take my bread.
Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, John Lloyd, trumpet player with my friend Bill back here. There's something else that's going on here last Sunday at the potluck, there was a lot of chatter about singing. And there's a lot of people here who can sing. So guess what? We are taking, not auditions, just if you have an interest, if you have sung in a choir and you have enough knowledge of reading music, Terry will accompany us on, did you know about that? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to pass this around. If you have an interest, please sign up. I did not leave adequate space for email and phone number. So please include that along with your name. All right? Thank you. Pardon me? Preferably.
You can listen to the person next to you like I've always done.
But you know what? We are an all-inclusive community. So yes, bring it. And let's just pass this around and sign up. Yeah.
All right. And now, without further ado, the stellar Anjali.
Oh, hello, everybody. Hi. So I just want to say, my face, I didn't even know what infamous meant until I looked it up and showed Terry. Oh, that's what I mean. No, my face is because I don't like to be talked about. Like, I'm shy. It's like, yeah, I'm just one of y'all, so don't bring me somewhere else. I just want to be here with you. Happy Hanukkah. We're in the middle of Hanukkah. We say Hag Hanukkah Sameach. And I just had a beautiful evening with my sons and my son's girlfriend last night, and we lit 4 menorahs and put them in the window. It's a festival of light from our hearts out into the world. A festival of miracles and fighting against struggles, internal struggles. So I like to start off with a Hanukkah medley that I put together. And 2 of the songs are from the Sephardic tradition, the Ladino Sephardic, which my mother was a part of. So please sing along and try to join in with this Hanukkah light feeling. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. All right, everybody. Luz y paz, light and peace. Luz y paz, luz y paz, luz y paz, luz y paz. Festival de luces, Hanukkah está aquí. Candelas brillantes, 8 días para mí. Festivales miricales, candelicas, burriquitas, lacas fritas, alegrías, luz y paz. Luz y paz. Luz y paz. Luz y paz. Toda la familia vamos a celebrar como música y dulces, muchas fiestas con my life, festivales miricales, candelicas, buriquitas, lacas, fritas, alegrías. Chanukah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Chanukah linda está aquí. All right, everybody's gonna sing this one. I know you know how to count in Spanish, right? 1, 2, 3. So sing along with me. Chanukah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Oh, here we go. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas vou fazer, con alegría y prazer. Muchas fiestas vou fazer, con alegría y placer. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas. Here we go. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí.
Good morning. I just have to echo what Ty and everybody said this morning about this place. I love it. I had to, I live in Port Townsend, and I was driving down here this morning all the way from, and I was sitting there going, what am I doing? I said, I'm going down to meet my family, you know, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, Franz Marc was a German painter in late teens and 20, 23, that sort of thing, early 20s. He was German. He was in the war. He was killed in the war. He had just gotten word, or they had just gotten word that they were going to pull him off the front lines because Germany during World War I decided they didn't want their artists on the front line. Before he got the message, he was hit in the head and died instantly from shrapnel. Last year, one of his paintings, The Foxes, sold for $22 million. He was, all of his art was confiscated by the Nazis as degenerate artistry. And he wrote, or he didn't, he wrote, painted in the same style as The Foxes. He painted a painting called The Blue Horses. Mary Oliver, who was a Pulitzer Prize winner in poetry, wrote a poem about his painting, The Blue Horses. And if you look up on the internet, just see what that is. This is what this poem is about. It's by Mary Oliver. I step into the painting of the 4 blue horses, and I'm not surprised that I can do this. One of the horses walks toward me. His blue nose noses me lightly. I put my arm over his blue mane, not holding on, just commingling. He allows me my pleasure. Franz Marc died a young man, shrapnel in his brain. I would rather die than try to explain to the blue horses what war is. They would either faint in horror or simply find it impossible to believe. I do not know how to thank you, Franz Marc. Maybe our world will grow kinder eventually. Maybe the desire to make something beautiful is the peace of God that is inside each of us. Now all 4 horses have come closer, are bending their faces toward me, as if they all have secrets to tell. I don't expect them to speak, and they don't. If being so beautiful isn't enough, what could they possibly say? It's by Mary Oliver. I'm going to repeat one line that really struck me. Maybe the desire to make something beautiful is the peace of God that's inside each of us. I ask you to close your eyes and just take those words in for a moment and realize that the peace that's within us is God's creativity in each and every one of us. And in this silence, I recognize right here and right now that flame that's inside of us is the creative nature of the one Creator. Whether it goes by the name of Jehovah, Yahweh, Buddha, Krishna, or love. And I am so glad to know that I am right here and right now in the midst of that love that's in each and every one of us. I am so grateful. And I can release this word into the law and allow it to be the center of my being. And so it is.
This is a song based on P.R. Shakar's Manushavai Apon. All humanity is my own. And we know there's really bad things going on in the world right now. So the intention is to keep in our minds that we're all interconnected and that we care for everybody in this world. And if you want to sing along again, that's sure. All humanity is my own. All humanity is my own. All humanity is my own. With one intention, our hearts strung together, and all humanity is my own. All humanity is my own. The needs of all are the same needs. All humanity is my own. All humanity is my own. We all weep in sorrow, and we all smile with joy. With kind, caring faces, we love every girl and boy. In hunger and thirst, we share food and drink first. We all realize we share the same needs, and all humanity is my own. All humanity is my own. We all love the universe, yes we do. Sky, the moon, the stars, and forest. Together we dance and sing, and we call on love supreme. With one single mind, focused on our dream, and all humanity is my own. All humanity is my own. strung together like a strand of pearls. You're not the color of your skin. You're not your culture. You're my brother, you're my sister, and all humanity is my own. Hearts strung together like a strand of pearls. Hearts strung together like a strand of pearls. Hearts strung together like a strand of pearls. Hearts strung together like a strand of pearls.
It's just beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's just take a deep breath in. There's nowhere else to be than right here, right now, doing exactly what we're doing. And this morning, we're going to talk about a really cool topic. Steve's led us into this, Anjali, the music. It's being an artist. It's the art of creating. It's what we are founded from, a sense of beauty and truth and love and compassion that was boldly in some sort of creative form and thought that allowed us to manifest, and we are microcosms doing exactly that same thing. So I don't talk a lot about myself or my past other than my brain tumor and all the things I went through, but for those of you who don't know, I used to be a professional actor for many, many years in Los Angeles and New York and other areas. And so some people have asked me to share some of that, and I thought, well, I don't want to just talk about that. I want to talk about why that's a microcosm of you creating. Because art really exemplifies the process of creation itself. Whether you're writing a book, whether you're talking about a painting or painting itself, whether you're doing prayer, whether you're sharing music, and whether you're acting, because it mirrors exactly the process that Ernest Holmes described. And here's a quote from him that talks about why that's so important. Whatever the mind holds to firmly believe in, it forms a new pattern of thought within the creative mold. And whatever thought is held in mind takes outward form in new creations. So, this wonderful V symbol you see here and back there. For those of you who can see it, maybe we'll zoom in on it at home. That is a demonstration of the actual process of which we were born and that we act out every day. It's kind of like when you zoom in on the microcosm, you're seeing how the whole universe works. And it is that there's an imaginative thought first, an impulse, an idea, the inception. And then it moves down through an unjudging creative medium, and then it comes out manifest. And that's true for all of your life. And it's true as an artist too, because the artist has this creative thought in mind. Maybe they wrote a song, maybe they have a painting they want to create, and the body, they're a vocal instrument. This piece of me becomes my creative medium, and it doesn't ask questions. If I tell my body to move here, it moves there. If I tell my pen to stroke here, my voice to do this, it does it without asking questions. And what the result is what we call a demonstration. It is the thing itself. It is the expression of it. That's the entirety of your lives, what you can control. And why is acting a great representation of this? Because it says when I'm on stage, when I was on stage or in movies or whatever, I would have these creative impulses. And I would use my instrument to say, do this, do that, I'm doing this intentionally. And then it would express in the drama, the comedy, the thing we see unfold. And that's why we love art so much. It's because it sings to us. It sings to us of that moment of creation. And it reminds us where we come from. And it reminds us of the beauty and truth that we hold to. So what did I learn from acting that I want to share with you today to maybe help you unlock your creative potential? You come alive. Like we saw Ty, he was creative potential. He whips that chef hat out this morning and he puts it on, right? That's a thought into action manifest in front of our eyes. And what do? We delight in it. We delight in it because it's free and unfettered and beautiful and perfect. Or Steve sharing a poem, or Anjali singing, or Benny playing, or Terry playing, or all of you in anything you do that is crafty, creative. You are mirroring that exact thing. We are creating. We are creating. We are creating. This whole place is a creation. I'll talk about that in a minute. So what did I learn from acting? Well, the first thing I learned is presence is power. You show up. You show up as yourself, and you boldly say, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm doing whatever's needed for me, I'm going to show up. So presence becomes real power. You listen deeply with that presence. You release distractions. You're focused without tension. Just take another deep breath again. What does that mean to be present in the moment? Remember, the moment now that you're experiencing is the only real thing you'll ever know. All this stuff machinations about past and future, and we remember this and we project to that, that's not real. Those are concepts. Those are just synaptic firings in your brain. They're not real. This moment's real. Your presence in this moment matters deeply. And in fact, you harness incredible energy when you do. And that's what makes a great actor. When you see an actor that's that focused in the present moment, you zoom in with them. We connect with people, especially those who are alive in front of us. And when we do, we come alive too. So presence is power. The second is releasing judgment. All this fear of not good enough, or I can't do this, or should I try, or second guessing efforts. Actor can't have that. Actor has to release that judgment and try boldly and be unafraid to fail. You're going to fall down sometimes, and that's totally not a bad thing. That's beautiful. It's wonderful. It helps us learn and grow. I fall down all the time. What have I learned? Get back up. Fall down 6 times, get up 7. That's the key. Know your motivation. Know why you want to do something. This is very important. An actor needs to know what they're doing. An actor can't play a really good villain. When you see villains and you really hate them, that's because the actor's doing a great job, right? You're like, oh, I hate that person. I just wish they'd get him. It's because they're not coming from a place of judgment. They're assuming what that person wants. It may be misaligned, but it's not false. Acting is not about lying at all. It's about telling the truth. Actors make terrible poker players because they can't hide their emotions and they can't lie. We're no good at bluffing. I got cleaned up at poker all the time when I play with friends. I stopped playing. I was like, I can't lose this much money all the time because they see right through me. So acting is about truth-telling and doing it powerfully as well. Pay attention and be prepared to be astonished. You have to be willing to go with the flow. Improv, we talked about that. It's yes and, it's showing up. It's I make an offer, this makes an offer. You're dancing with the universe, you're dancing with creation. And that's such a beautiful place to be. I don't have to control everything. I don't have to own everything. I'm just going to put forth my offer and see what happens. And you'll be astonished, you'll be surprised. And with that comes a sense of humor. We have to be willing to laugh and roll with it. There was a famous story that went around our theater world of people that were in a Broadway production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. It's a Tennessee Williams play. And in that play, it's about the South, and there's big, boisterous characters. There's a character called Big Mama, and she comes in, and she's calling out to the audience, or in this case, there's a party out on the veranda, and she's trying to call them into home, and it's a Big Daddy. Big Daddy is the character. And so she'd come out and make a big entrance, and she'd say, "Come on in, y'all. It's Big Daddy's birthday." And they'd all walk in like that every day. And then one night, she came out and unknowingly said, "Come on in, y'all. It's Big Dirty's birthday." And the whole place erupted in laughter, right? And then out of the blue, one of the voices came out of the cast that was on the stage and says, well, we better get cleaned up mighty fast then. And that became legend. It's Big Dirty's bath day. That became legend. But the beauty of that is that humor is a release, a connection, and they loved it, and the audience loved it. So there is no accident. There's no accident in your life. There's nothing you're going to do that's false or wrong. Let go. Trust. Have faith. Believe. And this group is your fellow cast members. We're creating a play together right now. What's your role? How are you going to show up with all of yourself? What do you believe in? What do you love? What lights up your soul? That's what we need here. That's what we need from our world, because that creates a fire that can't be reckoned. Mastery takes time. You have to give time. I remember going to my acting teacher when I was in college, and I wanted so bad to know what full artistry was. And I went in and I closed her door, and as young actors often are impetuous, I probably still have a little bit of that in me. You're seeing that now. And I closed the door and I said, Peg, her name was Peg French, a wonderful teacher. I said, Peg, what's it gonna take for me to be a great actor? What's it gonna take? And she just calmly sat there grading papers and looked up and said 15 years. And she was right. 15 years later, I got to play Hamlet at Boise State University, and it was wonderful. And it was exquisitely beautiful. And I had a transcendent experience of being on stage and becoming that character, who was a young man that was confused and beriddled with guilt and misunderstanding and treacherousness around him, and trying to find his way through. And I played it that honestly, and audiences, they loved it because it wasn't me. I was playing something beautiful with truth. And we were all crying together. I remember being willing to be spontaneous, right? I was in the round, and at one point I had to do the famous soliloquy, to be or not to be. And I just had the inspiration to go up and sit in the audience on the steps as one of the areas went up. And I just looked around, these people with me, and I just simply said, to be or not to be? That is the question. Which is all about, do I want to go on? And I had the dialogue with them at a very real, intimate way. Not chewing the scenery, not being like, to be or not to be. It was just the question. Should I live or take my life? And after those performances, audiences would commonly say, it was wonderful, but why didn't you use the original Shakespearean language? And we laughed, because we did. We just made it understandable. And that's the other part of your art, is whatever you're doing, make it sure it resonates or speaks to the people. Because when you do, again, that's where the magic happens. Because it wasn't about me. It was about the play, the piece. All right, let's see what else. Trust your cast. Trust the people around you. Just look around you for a second. Look at all these lovely people. They are trustworthy. They are deep. They are rich. They are loving. They are connected. They are yours. This is your family. You have each other. This is your cast. We can write whatever play we want to. And don't listen to the critics. I've had many times where I had a teacher that said, if you listen to the critics when they're talking good about you, you got to listen when they're talking bad. And I went, yeah, no, I don't know. So I used to not read reviews. I wouldn't care. Because it didn't matter what one person thought. It only mattered what we did, what we put forth, not in judgment or criticism. So we can make that pact together to not be critical of each other in any way, which we're not. What we are is the exact opposite, which is beautiful. We're loving and accepting and incorporating. And that's a big, big deal. Because otherwise, we get pulled back, we get safe, we get careful, we get guarded. And we're not our best. The other piece is commit fully. You have to really go for it all the way and be willing to give your very best every single day. And then enjoy the ride, let go, and trust the process. How much do you love the gift of being here? I can't tell you how many books and people I've counseled that have had near-death experiences, both in hospital systems and elsewhere. And here's what they universally say. It's really so simple. Why did I complicate it so much? Why didn't I just show up and enjoy it and love the people around me? It wasn't about all that stuff that I thought it was about. It wasn't about all this concentrating on getting this and having that and doing this and creating this thing and making that and having enough money and being secure and being safe and fighting all the time. It is about creating that. It is about doing that. But they said, it's about love. It's about love. It's about love. That's what it's about. They all said it. They said, be present, show up, and be about love. And that's what we do as artists. I remember that in every play has a chapter, and it's okay. I remember there was a chapter in my life where I was married and had a wonderful wife that played Ophelia, actually, in Hamlet. It was pure magic, but we just weren't right for each other. And we were breaking apart as we were in this theater company together. And the very last thing that I ever said on stage was to her in a production of The Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams again. And it was me as her sibling, Tom, saying to Laura, as he had to leave that family, and when you talk about art imitates life. Wow. He had to leave that family, and the last thing I said to her on stage was, good night. And that was the end. And the curtain fell on that chapter of my life. And it was devastating and awful. But then the curtain rose on the magic of my new life. And a wonderful woman that I met that was beyond measure and beauty and truth. And now, intentionally, I'm in a new play. What new play are you in today? What new thing can you create in your life? The pen is in your hand. The words and the ideas are right here. Your body is the medium, and the result is your existence. So if we could lower the screen, Leslie, I'm going to show you a little clip. And this is something from me called an acting reel. And it's when we had, back in the days of like VHS and Betamax, I walked in with all these tapes to this guy and I said, make me a reel. And I had all my acting stuff. And he took a few hours and pieced it together with little music. And so this is me in several different shows and things when I was younger doing things. And I show it to you because it's fun and interesting and kind of funny a little bit. But I really show it to you to catch all the things I said. What do you see about showing up, truth-telling, being present, being willing to go with it, believing in your cast members, believing in one another, and being the creative medium yourself for the life you want to create. So if we can, we'll try to roll the tape in a second here. Erik had it downloaded for me. So this is my acting reel. So I haven't seen this in a while, so here we go.
Mother.
I didn't think I'd be this nervous.
I can't believe how handsome you are.
Thank you, I think.
What I meant to say was, I didn't expect you to be, oh, hell, that's not coming out right either. Oh, Lord, Lord, I'm swearing in front of a minister.
It's all right. I've sworn before myself.
I never meant to give you up. I was 15 years old.
There's no need to explain. It's okay. I didn't come to blame you.
You know, I never pictured it going really badly.
But it's going even better than I thought it could.
It is, isn't it?
What should I call you? Wanda, you're so great. You know, you remind me so much of my mother.
Excuse me, hey you, come here. Don't.
Yes, ma'am.
How old is your mama?
38.
Excuse me.
Well, she just turned 38.
I love you.
Are you trying to humiliate me?
I have held my tongue long enough.
Chelsea is one of the most powerful women in Greenville, and powerful people do things different than Steel Valley folks.
They just don't happen to care about fancy clothes and big fast cars and houses.
So what's wrong with wanting those things? Huh? I thought you didn't want me to end up just another lug back home. All right. I was way behind in points when I saw you patrolling the boardwalk a couple of weeks ago, so when I spotted you at the bar...
Points was I worth to you?
100. Look, these other women that we picked, they're all just condescending witches, and before the stuff kicked in, you were being so nice to me in your own.
That's because you were being nice to me.
And that's why I called you a cab and I sent you home. What story is this?
Your story about the volcano erupting on that island of Perrohe.
What? Oh, Mr. Trapwell, that story, that's not true. It was a dream I had, and I wrote it all down. I was gonna sell it as a short story, but you're gonna have to print a retraction. Tom, this is gonna make us criminals. You were going places, Tom. You were going good places, and I was going there with you. But not anymore. Not where you're going. Where's that? To hell, Tom. You can't leave me. I just did. I'm out of here. Enjoy your youth. I got work to do.
So it's really odd to see it. It feels like a different person. It doesn't even feel like me anymore. But did you see the elements that were in there? The listening, the presence, the showing up. Watch any acting that you ever see. Listen to Anjali sing today, and you're seeing the creative process incarnate in front of you. That's why I show this, is to realize that you are an artist, that we are creating something beautiful here together, that this is our stage, and that you are playing an important role, and that we're all needed, all of us, and that we love every one of you for the important thing that you offer. All the power of the universe is within you. Feel it, know it, and then act as though it were true. Act as though it were true. That's Ernest Holmes. And I would add, because it is. So show up, be love, write the play of your dreams, and boldly pursue it, because that is how we make a world that thrives in harmony. Be an artist. Bless you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to try to put that into practice right now. The song I chose was based on another talk that I thought was going on today, and I was like, oh, maybe I should change it. No, don't second guess yourself, right? Just move forward. So this is a song I wrote about remembering the good in people. When, if you have discord or disharmony with somebody, to remember the good and try to draw those things forward. So this is called The Good. When I think of you, I remember the good. When when I think of you. I remember the good, your smile, your eyes, your warmth, how you tried. I remember the good, I remember the good. Times together, and I remember the good. Trials of weather, I remember the good, your warmth, your smile, your love, your vibe. I remember the good, and I remember the good. Why waste time and energy remembering a struggle? All those memories seem to fade, and the good is what remains. The good is what remains, and I remember the good. I remember the good. You and your goodness touched my heart, and it sang to me. And you and your spirit and all you love, they become better. And I remember the good. I remember the good. I remember lo bueno, lo bueno, lo bueno. In the caves of Masada, on the beaches of Kona, viewing magical sunsets. I remember the good, sharing secrets together. And I remember the good, watching stars fall down. I remember the good, dancing on the praying wall. And I remember the good, Sabbath nights together. How I remember the good. I remember the good. I remember the good. I remember the good. I remember the good.
So now we're going to invite our greeters forward. And we're going to take our creative love expression of our abundance in our hands. And then together we're going to say our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Let's just all rest in that beautiful music. Beautiful music. And I know that right here and right now, the presence of love is palpable. It's here. It's in each and every one of us. And because that spirit and that love is at the center of our being, we are whole right here, right now. All the troubles, all of the pain is uplifted and dissolved in this moment. And I give thanks to the only creator that's in each one of us. It's God's creation, it's Spirit's creation that comes through us. And I know this is true. And I release this word into the law of mind and allow it to be. And so it is.
Song, release, and let go. Go forth today, be an artist, and create the world you want to in your dreams. Bravo!